Okay, guys, so we're back at the mole map, and where are we going to go from here is we're going to take what we learned last night in terms of molar mass, and we're going to apply it to the mole map. Now, previously, we worked on this section right here, and tonight, we're going to work on this section right here, as well as going all the way from mass all the way to atoms or molecules, okay, or vice versa. All right. What I want you to realize is that there's no arrow going directly from mass to molecules. You have to always stop over in moles. So when we set up our unit multipliers, you might need 2 steps, or you might need 1 step. What you're going to need to learn to do is say, I'm starting here and I'm ending up here, or I'm starting here and I'm ending up here. Actually put your finger on the mole map and figure out how many steps you're going to need to do. So let's do a practice one, okay? And so our practice one, I'm going to draw the mole map up here, just an abbreviated version of it. So we have mass A to moles A to atoms / molecules of A. And we know here we're going to need our molar mass, and here we're going to need 6.02 times 10 to the 23rd. And this question asks how many moles are there in 5 grams of silver 1 chloride? So we have 5 grams, so we're starting here, and our end point is just going to be moles, which is here. So all we need to do is a 1-step unit multiplier. So our starting point is 5.00 grams, and we have 3 sig figs here, so this tells us that our answer needs to be in 3 sig figs. We're going to set up our unit multiplier. Grams is on top here, so grams is going to be on the bottom here, so it cancels out. And this is grams of AgCl, and down here will be grams of AgCl. We want to go to moles of AgCl, so that will go on top. And we know the number that goes next to mole, no matter what, is going to be the number 1. The one thing we don't know is how many grams are in 1 mole of AgCl. This is where we're going to need to use our information about the molar mass. We know that Ag, or silver, weighs 107 grams, and we know that chlorine weighs 35.5 grams. We're going to add those 2 up, 0.5, 12, 4, and we know that 1 mole of silver chloride weighs 142.5 grams. We're going to cancel out like units. We look across the top. The only unit we have left is mole of AgCl. And what we're left with is 5 divided by 142.5 grams, and that's going to give us a number of moles of AgCl. Now, in your notes, you're going to have this unit multiplier set up, and you're going to give me a calculation for how many moles of AgCl there are in 5 grams of silver 1 chloride. Now in class, we're going to work on the worksheet that is going to relate moles and mass. You're going to be working on this in class. However, we want to just do a 1-step problem. We just showed you a 1-step problem. Let's do a 2-step problem. So our starting point here is 12.55 grams of carbon dioxide. Now we have to go to molecules. So let's draw our mole map quickly. Here we have our molar mass. Here we have 6.02 times 10 to the 23rd. All right, and let's just set up our unit multipliers because our starting point is here and our end point is there. So we're going to just set up our unit multipliers with labels. So we're going to have grams CO2 here, and if we're going from mass to moles first, we need to have moles of CO2 up top. So our next step, we're going to put our labels. We're going to have moles CO2 on the bottom and molecules CO2 up top. Now we know what number needs to go next to moles in both places. That's good. It's always going to be 1 mole. We don't know the grams of carbon dioxide. So we have 1 carbon atom, which is at 12 grams, and we have 2 oxygen atoms, which is at 16 grams each. So 12 plus 32, we have 44 grams of CO2. So we're going to put 44 here. And in this last spot, we're going to put 6.02 times 10 to the 23rd, because that's how many molecules are in 1 mole. Grams cancel, moles cancel. We're just left with molecules of CO2. So we're going to take 12.55, divide by 44, then multiply by 6.02 times 10 to the 23rd, and that's going to give us our molecules of CO2. In your notes, you're going to have this set up, and you're going to give me an answer for how many molecules of CO2 there are in 12.55 grams. Now, if we wanted to take it the opposite direction, where we'd start at molecules and then go to mass, the only thing which changes is how we rearrange our unit multipliers. We're always going to put the unit we're going to on the top and the unit we're leaving on the bottom. Okay? So tomorrow in class, you're going to practice this, and I'll be around to answer any questions. Have a good night, guys.